This man was a fighter jet pilot, and he was preparing to go home for Christmas. He took off from the runway, but just a few seconds later, all the lights at the airport suddenly went out. He didn't pay much attention to it. He simply increased the throttle and took the jet upward. After flying for about an hour, he began to see many bright and dazzling lights in the sky. At the same time, all the controls and machines of his jet stopped working. He lightly tapped some of the instruments with his hand, but it made no difference. Immediately, he pulled out the operations manual and followed the steps mentioned in it, but still nothing worked. Now he became extremely worried. He tried calling the control tower, but there was no response. Slowly, he even began to lose his sense of direction. By now, his jet was flying over the sea and his fuel was about to run out. He started thinking of different ways to save himself when suddenly thick fog spread all around. He immediately reduced the jet's speed to save some fuel, but he had become completely hopeless. Just as he was about to give up, suddenly a bomber aircraft appeared in front of him. The bomber plane waved its wings and saluted him. When the bomber pilot saw his condition, he understood that this fighter pilot had lost his way and was about to run out of fuel. The bomber pilot told him, "Follow me." After that, both aircraft changed direction and began flying together. With the help of the bomber pilot, they reached above an airfield. After some time, the fighter pilot safely landed his jet on the ground. When the bomber pilot saw that he had landed safely, he turned around and flew away. When the fighter pilot came out of the cockpit, he saw a car parked nearby. The staff seated him in the car and took him to the canteen. On the wall of the canteen, there were names and ages of many people written. There was also a photograph hanging there that caught his attention. The pilot in that photo was the same one who had helped him land just a short while ago. He immediately asked the staff, "Who is this pilot?" The staff replied that he was a very brave pilot of their airbase. After every mission, he used to fly alone in a bomber aircraft and search for damaged or lost planes, guiding them safely back to the base. Often, thick fog covered the sea, causing many pilots to lose their way, and this pilot showed them the correct path. But on Christmas night in 1943, his bomber aircraft crashed into the sea, and 14 years had passed since that incident. Hearing this, the fighter pilot was shocked. He couldn't believe it because just a short while ago, this very pilot had saved his life. At that moment, he again heard the sound of a bomber aircraft. He quickly ran outside, but there was nothing there. He looked all around, but no one was visible. Then he saw some vehicles coming toward him. Soldiers arrived and said that his plane had suddenly disappeared from the radar, so they had come looking for him. The fighter pilot told them that a bomber pilot had shown him the way, and that someone had also turned on the runway lights. Hearing this, the soldiers were astonished and said that this was impossible because this place had been abandoned since the end of World War II, and no one lived here anymore. As soon as he heard this, the man turned around. The canteen, which had been perfectly clean and intact just moments ago, now appeared completely broken and deserted. Then he understood that the pilot who had come to help him was not a human being, but a ghost who had left this world many years ago.